Hello again, everybody. It's Scott Casper, Takedown Wrestling. The news continues. We have a guest in our Nike hot seat today, three-time NCAA Division I All-American for the University of Iowa, now new assistant coach at Cal Poly, joining Scotty Sentes and the head coach there, Brendan Buckley. He joins us now. Does Mike Evans, the fabled mustachio-wearing Mike Evans, now with a full beard. Mike, how are you?
I'm good, Scott. How are you?
Good, bud. Congratulations on the new job.
Hey, thank you.
Let's talk about first of all your incredible career while at Iowa. Perhaps you did not hit all the top rungs of the ladder, but it wasn't for lack of trying. You absolutely thrilled the fans while competing there, putting together a record of 107 and 27. How was that Hawkeye experience for you?
It was great. I mean, I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world, I'll tell you that.
Talk to us a bit about being a Hawkeye and wearing that badge around because you're on any other campus and everybody is shooting at the Hawkeyes. Did you guys feel like that?
Yeah, there was definitely a big target on your back, especially when you get into dual tournaments or national duels, NCAAs, it's not, everybody versus everybody. It's everybody versus Iowa.
Yeah.
So there's always a big target on your back.
And even when you were at Blair, it was similar, I would imagine, to the Hawkeye mystique. Blair, obviously, one of the best prep academies in the country and one of the more respected names around the world. You developed there as an athlete in a big way. Obviously, you had talent going in; otherwise, you'd never would have established a 165 and 8 record. But as your senior year came to a close, you stood on a 52 and 0 mark that year as a senior. You're just one incredible athlete. How did it start for you in wrestling? How did you end up at Blair?
Um, you know, I don't think I was really getting prepared for college and college matches where I was at. Didn't have the room to push me really. I mean, they can high school rooms like that they can only take you so far. So moving to Blair and attending that school was kind of just the step I needed to bridge myself in between high school wrestling and college wrestling.
When you had great coaches, obviously, to teach you, but you were also playing football, if I recall.
Yeah, actually, not just football. I played soccer until my freshman year of high school.
How did you make the
So,
decision to make wrestling your only sport?
well, it's kind of a funny story. So I always did summer workouts. I just worked out all year in wrestling. Somehow, some way, practice here, practice there. And we're in football season, and it was like the night before our last game. I was at wrestling practice, and the mats weren't taped. So I was wrestling, and my ankle slipped in between the two mats, and a kid shot in there, and I couldn't move my foot, so he basically just blasted through my foot and broke my ankle.
Wow.
So I had to show up to school the next day with a cast on. Coaches are asking me, what are you doing? It's like, oh, I was at wrestling practice. So they played without me, and then a couple months later, they said you need to make a decision on what's important. Football, wrestling. What are you going to do? And I think they thought I was going to choose football because all my friends were in football, but it was just like, duh, I'm going to wrestle. So.
So they thought they were putting you in a hard spot when, in fact, the decision was already in your mind as to what you were
Oh
going to
yeah.
do. You weren't just a freestyle guy, you were a Greco Roman state champ as well. Um, if you had the opportunity right now, would you consider a spot or gunning for a spot on the Greco Roman squad?
Uh, Maybe. I'll tell you what. The reason I competed Greco-Roman and freestyle and folk style, it's when you wrestle Greco-Roman or freestyle, you learn different ways to attack. Freestyle, it's kind of chain wrestling. How quick can you end the match? Turn, 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 or takedown to turn. It's kind of like it's just a continuation of wrestling. And then you wrestle Greco. In Greco, you have to focus on upper body attacks. So you got two different styles of wrestling that kind of complement your collegiate wrestling. So I'll give you an example. My junior year, I wrestled a guy and I couldn't score on him. He just kept his legs back, legs back, legs back. Started jacking him up. Ended up getting a 5-point move. So, you got different levels. You can attack them high, you can attack them low, you can continue to wrestle. It's just all three of them benefit each individual each individual aspect of the sport.
Is there any part of the sport of wrestling that over the years frustrated you enough to want to make a change in the way you wrestled, your style of wrestling, the way you attacked?
Yes. I think the reoccurring theme is if a guy isn't up to par with your skill set, they try to hold points, which was a big thing at Iowa. So your first impression is okay, I can't get to him. I'm just gonna fire, 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 fire. And I'll tell you what, the first time I experienced that was against Lee Munster at Fargo. And he would just counter. He would just move his feet, counter, shoot in, and I'd be overextended, and there's just no way I could stop him because I'm just attacking, attacking, attacking. So I think the big thing I took away is, sometimes you gotta put pressure on guys, but you can't take yourself out of position. You gotta continue to wrestle and stay in good position.
That's a lot harder than it would seem to be, isn't it?
Oh yeah, especially when you have a winning mindset and you want to rack points up on the board. You got to rack points up on the board, but you got to do it in a smart, controlled fashion.
Did it thrill you to wrestle in one of the most storied for one of the most storied programs in the land, but also in one of the great buildings? And don't tell me it's a basketball building because it's really not. It was a building built for wrestling, and I think the basketball players get to play there. But Carver Hawkeye Arena, was that a big thrill for you?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm one of those guys that enjoys the spotlight. Other guys can enjoy it too, but I like the spotlight to be right here. I'm a greedy guy. I like to win. I like the spotlight. There's nothing bad with that.
There's nothing wrong with that at all, man. That's one of the best parts of being a wrestler. If you're too shy, I don't know, man. It's almost like a secret evil guy lives inside. He comes out, he plays wrestler, he goes back in, and everybody goes to church. Mike Evans is our guest, the recent addition to Brendan Buckley's staff at Cal Poly, now a Mustang. Have they geared you up yet? Have you gotten all new Cal Poly gear? Yeah, I've got that T-shirt. Okay, so I'm wondering, there's got to be jackets, hats, ties.
I got a few shirts. I got some shorts, some spandex, but I haven't been around that long, so I'm still just picking up the scraps of what was left over. But we're ordering gear right now, so I'm gonna be geared up pretty soon.
Nice. Well, put me down for a pair of double XL shorts, will you?
Hey, we'll see what we can do.
I know that Brenda told me he's super excited to have you join the program, bringing with you all that you have. What are you most looking forward to doing? I know you've done camps as a clinician, coordinator, counselor for youth and prep around the country while wrestling in Iowa, but what are you most looking forward to accomplishing there?
Um, you know what? I want to put guys on the podium. I want to show the world that I can that I'm capable of doing such a thing. So while I'm here, I'm not just building one wrestler at a time. I'm trying to build up a team. Everybody I can get my hands on, I want to build them up too. That way, 5, 6, 7 years, whatever, how long it is, I'm down the line. I have something to throw on my resume. I had this many champions, this many All-Americans, this many Pac-12 champions. That's not just for them. That's for me too. So again, I like the spotlight, and I get the spotlight by putting others in the spotlight.
How difficult was the decision when knowing you're from Pennsylvania, and then you had the Jersey years, but moving all the way as far west as you can possibly go in the United States to California? How difficult was that?
It's not very difficult. I'll tell you what. When I went to Blair, that's a boarding school, so I was 2 hours, 2.5 hours away to start, and I kind of got over the hump, the homesickness, and all that. Then I went to Iowa. Maybe I had to deal with that a little bit, but you start once you start getting out there and you start seeing the world, you really start to enjoy it, start to experience new things, new norms. So coming out here wasn't hard at all.
There was some talk out there that perhaps you had been looking to join the Penn State staff. Was there any truth to those rumors?
No, no. I was looking at a couple schools, had a couple interviews, and the only other one was American. That was pretty serious. But
In DC.
yes, yeah,
That's a cool campus as well.
yeah. But like I said, I'm not a big city guy, so
Yeah, I don't think you could have any bigger a difference between where you are at Cal Poly and American University, man. That's like, yep, big city, Cal Poly, nice community. I like
yeah.
it. It's a big difference, big difference. So it sounds like
Well,
you've ended up at the right place. Brendan Buckley, of course, found he left New York City for Cal Poly, and I think he's very, very happy there. And I know it's outstanding college to get into, difficult for sure, but gosh, you know what? The wrestling program has stepped up a lot over the last couple years under his guidance, and now with you there and Scotty Sentes, I got to believe the future looks pretty bright. What do you want to tell all those folks back in Iowa, all your wrestling fans?
uh, I don't know what to tell them. Thanks for all the support, and I hope you continue to watch me coach, and maybe one day I get the crazy hair in me and I start to wrestle again. Continue to support, continue to grow the sport.
Mike Evans has been our guest in the Nike hot seat. Told you it wasn't going to be too difficult, right?
Yeah, it's not bad. I'm used to interviews.
I got to see if they can adjust those weights, man. I want to see a couple more years, perhaps an Olympic run out of you. I think it would be just absolutely terrific. One of my favorite wrestlers over the last few years. And you got to remember, I watch a lot of them, but it always seems like you wrestled with a whole lot of joy. And it made it fun for the fans and fun for us in the media as well. Mike, thank you very much for taking the time today.
Hey, thanks. Thank you, Scott.
Mike Evans, now part of Cal Poly and the Mustangs, Brendan Buckley staff in California. I'm confident he'll make a difference. Thanks for watching.